Thank you, Presiding Officer. I congratulate Russell Frinley on bringing his first members' debate to the Chamber of the Scottish Parliament on World Press Freedom Day. 3rd of May acts as a reminder to governments of the need to respect their commitment to press freedom, and is also a day of reflection among media professionals about issues of press freedom and professional ethics. Just as importantly, World Press Freedom is a day of support for media, which are targets for the restraint or abolition of press freedom. It's also a day of remembrance for those journalists who lost their lives in the pursuit of a story. April saw the 4th anniversary of Palestinian journalist Ahmed Abu Hussein's death from the Israeli sniper bullet that fatally wounded him as he covered one of the Great March of Return protests near the Israeli border in the Gaza Strip. Reporters Without Borders announced in April that it had registered more than 140 Israeli violations against Palestinian journalists since these weekly protests began in March 2018. Mr Hussein died in hospital on the 25th of April 2018 from the gunshot injury he sustained while covering the protest on the 13th of April. Another Palestinian journalist, Yasser Mortaja, was killed on the spot by an Israeli sniper bullet while covering the protest on 6th of April 2018. According to Reporters Without Borders tally, at least 144 Palestinian journalists have been at the receiving end of live rounds, rubber bullets, stun grenades or tear gas fired by Israeli soldiers or police, or their baton blows in the Gaza Strip, the West Bank and East Jerusalem during the past 4 years of Great March of Return protests. Israel is ranked 86th out of 180 countries in their World Press Freedom Index, while Palestine is ranked 132nd. Presiding Officer, I've spoken about PEN's International's Day of the Imprisoned Writer before, so I'll take some time to talk about their call to action on this Press Freedom Day. Ismail al-Iskandari is an award-winning writer, investigative journalist and socio-political researcher who's best known for his research and writings on militant groups operating in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. He was arrested on the 29th of November 2015 at the airport upon his return from Berlin in Germany. The authorities seized his laptop, mobile phone and personal belongings and later presented them as evidence against him. He was held in arbitrary pre-trial detention for over 2 years before being referred to a military court under the pretext of revealing military secrets. In May 2018, he was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment for leaking military secrets and membership of a terrorist group. On the 24th of December 2018, an Egyptian military court upheld the 10-year prison sentence against him. He's currently held in the Mansra prison in Torah prison complex, where he is reportedly denied access to in-person visits with his family, as well as access to reading and writing materials. PEN believes that al-Iskandari's detention and conviction are linked to his work, which challenges the government's narrative on its counter-terrorism operations. I'll be joining their call to action in writing to Egyptian authorities. Colleagues may wish to join me. Freedom of expression is a fundamental right, and of course the need to fight for fundamental rights is not new. It's always been important to protect people around the world from the threat of violence or state suppression. But as with so many things over the last few years, now, with ongoing conflicts in Ukraine, Yemen and Afghanistan, in the shadows of a global pandemic, and operating in a digital era which brings as many challenges as it does opportunities, that need feels even sharper. I want to conclude by recognising the contribution that journalists all over the world make to the crucial foundations of democracy and dialogue. Press freedom and freedom of expression support the protection and promotion of all human rights. It's in all our interests to ensure that both here and around the world, journalists can do their work freely and safely. Presiding Officer.